like the old saying goes, you can't go home again. And for Scud, that's truth. I mean, that is absolute truth. I wish I could say Rob Schrab and Team, oh man, they did an amazing comic. I loved it then, I loved it now, and I did love it then. I was like, wow, Scud's coming back. Because I remember it was like, where's Scud? Where is it when he going to come back? And then in 2008 started coming out new issues. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. Reading this collection for the first time and reading it all, sequentially with modern eyes and my eyes and what I enjoy, what I don't enjoy, and if I had to say did you love it or hate it, I had to put it in one category or the other. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that. The artwork, great action, great cartooning. Rob Schrab, great cartoonist. The writing, the actual characters, the the over reverential of everything. The references for pop culture, references for this going on and the 1990s and this and that. I really hate that. That's why I stopped watching like Family Guy. I never got into Rick and Morty. I never got these other things. This is what the comedy of modern day is. And I probably should have been more tempered with my expectations when it's like, oh yeah, Dan Harmon wrote some of these comics. I wrote about half of them, and Community, Rick and Morty. I was a little bit more optimistic because I was like, oh, I love Scud. I love this concept. This disposable assassin who is going to blow up after after he takes out his first hit, but decides to put the hit on a life support so he can still run around. It's like, I love that. Love the great ideas. Like, kind of like, I remember it being like something like Johnny Five, Short Circuit, where he's like, no disassemble. He doesn't want to die. I was like, okay, nothing like that. Nothing at all. And though I have to, on a scale of love or hate, I have to put it in hate, I would say that the artwork is worth it if there's a printing error where there was no lettering at all. It was just you have to visually read the story with no text. I would have loved it. I probably put it 4 out of 5 stars. But as it is, like 2 star, and that's being generous. That's unfortunate, but that's how it is. And I think there's something to be said by going back and reading these older comics. I found out the hard way with New X-Men. I mean, I found out the hard way reading some of the Bendis Ultimate Spider-Man, which I was a little on the fence about to begin with. But you got stuff like that still holds up. You got shockingly, there's some good stuff. Like Barry Windsor Smith's Weapon X that still holds up. Sin City still holds up. But hell, I mean, I used to hate Hell and Back, the Sin City comic. When I first read it, and I was like, let's stew in my brain for a bit, and went back and read it. I was like, I love this. It probably might be my favorite of the Sin City comics, but I don't think that's going to happen with Scud because unless I have like some kind of brain damage where I start to enjoy that kind of humor, it's like, oh, I remember that thing, I clapped, I remember this stuff, what the Red Letter Media joked about, for the reverential, getting the member berries and stuff to the degree of humor of what is in Scud. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I'm never going to go back to my, yeah, you know what, I was wrong. I don't think that's possible. I mean, it'd be wonderful if it was. It'd be wonderful. I could go back and things I did not like years ago, and I go back and enjoy. It's happened sometimes, but in this case, I'm not hopeful. This is this is one of the cases where I'm not going to be optimistic. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I guess it's the risk of going back and trying to relive the glory days. At least I'm not running around with a Letterman's jacket with a giant gut and busted knee and back in my day, we're trying to recapture that glory. But if you've had some kind of experience like this, or you've read a comic again and that you once loved, and now you're like, I don't like this one bit. Just let me know. Have a little conversation back and forth. Get up that engagement on YouTube. All right, thanks for listening. Take care. Have a good one.